And now for the final segment of this episode, I'm going to be doing my awards predictions, just throwing out a couple. I will be doing my chalk pick or my real pick, the one that I actually think will happen. And then I'm also going to be putting a sleeper pick for each category with someone who's outside the top 10 in betting, but someone's just like, oh, keep an eye on him. Like maybe he can make some noise, sneak his way up, and actually win one of these awards. So starting things off, we're going to do Coach of the Year, where I have Nick Sirianni winning it. I am high on the Eagles. I think they come out and win the NFC East. And just his second season as the head coach with a really young raw quarterback that he's been developing here, and Jalen Hurts, and I think he's going to expand this offense and elevate Jalen Hurts' ability both as a thrower and as a runner is going to really elevate this offense along with all the pieces that they're adding in. And this will be one of the best offenses in the league under the offensive-minded head coach, Nick Sirianni. And then a sleeper pick I have is Dennis Allen. If he's able to make the playoffs with Jameis Winston after all this questions with, what's his face, Sean Payton. Wow, that took me way too long. With Sean Payton leaving, if he's still able to make the playoffs and have a pretty competent offense while also having one of the best, if not the best defenses in the league, then he definitely could squander a couple votes. Then for comeback player of the year, I have Derrick Henry. He's the number one odds favorite to win it right now, and for a good reason. He is the best running back in the league when healthy. Maybe Jonathan Taylor's coming for that crown, but you can't just give Taylor that crown because Henry wasn't playing. If Henry comes back in his full force, like I think he will be, he's going to win comeback player of the year easily. And my sleeper pick is Saquon, kind of bending the rules here. He was tied for 10th place for comeback player of the year, but no one else I really wanted to pick truly outside the top 10. So yeah, whatever. I'm still going Saquon. I still believe in his talent. This offensive line, though, is still giving me pause. But if he can stay healthy for a whole season and be productive, then yeah, there's still a chance he wins comeback player of the year. And if he has like a Pro Bowl caliber season, that really wouldn't shock me, and that might be enough to win comeback player of the year if Derrick Henry or a couple of these other players don't have these amazing seasons. Then for defensive rookie of the year, I have Aiden Hutchinson, number 2 overall pick, also the betting odds-odd favorite. Not too shocking with these last 2 picks, sorry, but like there's a reason why these guys are favorites. The Lions have an extremely deep edge group that they're going to be rotating and keep guys healthy, and Hutch is going to be able to just tee off, get like 8 to 10 sacks, have a really nice rookie season, and he's the number 2 overall pick. All these lights are already on him, and yeah, I just think he's the most likely to do it. But do keep your eye on George Karlaftis, the Kansas City Chiefs edge rusher. He's was taken, I think, like 30th overall, and he's not like this toolsy, crazy athlete, but he's got the pass rushing tools. He's got the finesse. He's like the technician type edge rusher. Like think Nick Bosa, just not in Nick Bosa's body, like a less athletic Nick Bosa, someone who can still win with his hands and get through offensive linemen. If he has a good season rushing next to Chris Jones, that wouldn't be too shocking, and he could win the defensive rookie of the year. Then for offensive rookie of the year, I have George Pickens. As I said earlier, talking about the Steelers, I am buying all of the George Pickens hype. I was mocking him through the first round in my first mock drafts. I think I had like 1 or 2 where I didn't put him in there just because I'm like, okay, not a lot of people are saying he's a first round receiver, but man, looks so freaking good a couple years ago at Georgia. And yeah, like he missed time with injuries and he has these character question marks, looking like a menace out there when he got drafted. But I mean, I think it's just like those question marks are all just fun and games. Like he's a bit immature, but like the Steelers were able to control Antonio Brown. So I think he'll be just fine and be one of the best receivers, at least young rookie receivers in the league next year. And then a sleeper, this isn't even too much of a sleeper. Dameon Pierce, he was like 15th best odds or something. I was kind of shocked by that. He's going to be the lead bell cow back in Houston. And just because of that, he's going to get the touches, the targets, the looks. He's going to be able to put up the numbers to garner some attention and possibly take the rookie of the year if there's not a lot of people producing as rookies. And then for defensive player of the year, I have Nick Bosa, the Niners edge rusher, coming off of a season where he had 15 and a half sacks. And man, just since the day he stepped on the field as the rookie, he was one of the best pass rushers in the league, getting better and better each season. And this Niners defense is coming along together around him, and I think he's going to take advantage of that, have another 15 to 20 sack season, and win the Defensive Player of the Year honors. And sleeper was kind of tough. I was thinking Rashawn Gary. I wanted to put Rashawn Gary, but he was like 7th, and I'm like, no, like I'll stick outside the top 10 still. Like that's not deep enough. So I was looking, not a lot of edge defenders that I thought like really had a shot to win it. So looking at cornerbacks, definitely Jalen Ramsey, Jair Alexander. Those ones are fun, but what if Patrick Surtain won it? The second-year cornerback, son of Pat Surtain. Surtain showed all the skills of being one of the top cornerbacks in the league as a freaking rookie. And if he steps up along that with the Broncos, if the Broncos have a really good team, which is very, very likely, like I know I have them finishing 9-8, so they'd probably have to finish with a bit better record than that for Surtain to finish as a Defensive Player of the Year. But I definitely think that's possible for him just to lock down one side of the field. And if he had a Stephon Gilmore type season and he has good ball skills, he can get a couple picks. He'll get his hand on the ball while also locking down the opposing receiver. So I think it's a very, very long shot. Like I think one of these edge rushers or Aaron Donald will win it. But if you're looking for a sleeper, Surtain isn't. Like I don't think that's too crazy of a choice. Then for Offensive Player of the Year, I got to go with Justin Jefferson. Bringing over this Kevin O'Connell, the Sean McVay offense, he's going to play a lot of that Cooper Kupp role, see a lot of heavy targets, and that offense is actually going to want to pass the ball with a good quarterback in Kirk Cousins. He's got a chance. I don't think he'll get Triple Crown. Maybe he does. He's, I think, the most likely to get Triple Crown out of the receivers. I don't think Cooper Kupp can repeat, especially with Allen Robinson out there. But he's going to see hella targets. He's going to be used in creative ways, and I think he'll be the best offensive player, non-quarterback in football next year. Non-offensive lineman too, because Trent Williams exists. But then my sleeper pick is Aaron Jones. As I said, Packers don't have wide receivers. That's no secret. Everyone knows that. Aaron Jones has receiver-like abilities. So if he has like 1,000 rushing yards on the ground splitting carries, he could easily also have 1,000 yards as a receiver split out wide, 2 running back sets, or just being the check down out of the backfield. If he puts together a 2,000-yard, 20 total touchdown season, as like they're just going to need to lean on him, that wouldn't shock me too much. And like I was looking and scrolling through the list, looking at the odds, thinking like, oh, who's a good pick? And I saw Aaron Jones sitting there like kind of far down. I should have written down how far down he was, but I was like, oh, that's not a bad, like outside the top 10. Like I think it might have been outside the top 20. Like that's a pretty good deal, like for a sleeper pick. And then last, but certainly not least, the most important award in the whole NFL, we got the MVP award going once again to Patrick Mahomes. I've got the Chiefs finishing 13-4 despite trading away Tyreek Hill, still being one of the best offenses. He's gonna be electric. He's hearing all this criticism, all this hate. Oh, he can't handle too high shells from people who just learned what a too high shell was a month ago. He's gonna want to shut people up. And these receivers also are gonna want to prove people wrong. Juju Smith-Schuster came into the league electric, and now people will like barely think that he can run or something. Like they just think that he's a non-existent receiver. MVS is always like, oh, he's good, but he doesn't have hands. Mecole Hardman, don't know what's going on with him. Why isn't he good? And Sky Moore, he's a rookie, second-round pick, undersized. These guys are going to want to go out there and prove people wrong, and so is Mahomes, so is Kelsey. Everyone out here is out for blood, and I think Mahomes just has one of these incredible seasons again. Maybe not like his sophomore campaign putting up 50 touchdowns, but like 5,000 yards, 42 touchdowns, and being like, yeah, I'm still him. And then my sleeper pick is Lance. As you guys know by now, I'm very high on the 49ers, and a lot of that is because of Trey Lance. He is this very raw prospect. A lot of different outcomes can happen this season. And I'm on the boat that he is a hardworking kid. He's put in the work this offseason. He's learned the playbook. He's worked his mechanics with Kyle Shanahan. He's going to be the player that Kyle Shanahan wanted at 3rd overall and elevate this offense to new heights. And I'm so excited to see what happens. There's a lot of a lot of recently before the back-to-back Aaron Rodgers MVPs, it was like second-year breakout players or just like guys who kind of came out of nowhere, and that can be Lance this season, and that's why I'm putting him as my sleeper pick. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about all the different awards. Who's your coach of the year? Who's your MVP, offensive player of the year? We're going to have a lot of differences, and I'm excited to see what you guys think too, because just talking football, that's what we're all here for, right? Hey, what's up? What you just saw was a clip from our podcast, the Forward Progress Football Podcast. If you want to see that full episode, you can click the little icon right there, and that'll bring you to it. Also, if you want to see what I was talking about with my Who Are They series, I broke down each and every team. You can watch that right there. Find your team in the playlist and stick around for the whole NFL season. I'll be talking about each and every game, previewing, reviewing all the exciting storylines, putting out in short little clips like this or in the full episode, whichever way you prefer enjoying. Just click the subscribe button right there, and I'll see you all next time.